I guess just to stick with linebackers for a second, Cole Sullivan played a lot for special teams last year. What did you see from him? What do you kind of like about his unique skill set, athleticism?
Yeah, Cole's a core 4 guy for us. I mean, he's done a lot of things. I think he was second on our special teams unit in tackles. Huge asset to us. Excited to see what he does this year.
Right here, Tony.
Hey, JB. Outside of Dominic Zvada, who's clearly elite, how would you? What did you like about last year? What didn't you like, and what sort of tweaks are you making?
Yeah, tweaks. You know, we got to get better at punt coverage. Number one. I think we've done a really good job of attacking that this year. I think, you know, in all areas we were very efficient. We just want to try to create more game-breaking plays this year, just to set our offense and defense up with better field position more consistently.
Is Jordan Marshall maybe someone that you think?
Yeah, definitely. He returned for us last year. He did a great job. He had the big one against Northwestern. Looking for more of those, and I think we do have a lot of explosive players that can handle the ball, though.
Right here, Aaron.
I was just going to ask, who do you have in returns?
Yeah, no doubt. Samaj Morgan, he's a veteran in the punt game for us. As a returner, we have Stu, who's done a great job. Amarion Stewart done a great job for us. You know, Andrew Marsh has been back there. Jordan Marshall has been back there. So we have a lot of explosive players that I think on this team that can help us gain the field position and try to break a few this year.
I know when Dominic Zvada, one of the selling points bringing him back was having him do kickoffs. Is that the plan this fall?
Yeah, so definitely he's in the rotation. He's been working it. He's done a great job. Super excited to see what he does this fall too.
On the left, Ryan.
What's the punter situation looking like, and how comfortable do you feel with Hollenbeck?
Yeah, I feel great with Hudson. I think he's had a really good spring. I think he's matured a lot, especially from the game against Alabama, where he did have some good punts that we thought that could help us win a ball game, obviously. He had the big 69-yard one, and then he pinned him a couple times. I think his confidence has gone above and beyond now. I think he feels like a starter. Definitely, we want to try to get around 6 guys in the room, 2 at each spot. So, you know, looking for someone else bring in to create that competition. But he's done a great job this spring so far. We truly trust him.
Stay on the left, Clayton.
Given how valuable Dominic is, I mean, is there concern about having him run and potentially get hit or make a tackle? I mean, he is kind of a skinny.
No, we got other guys to cover. You know, hopefully he can bang it out the back, or we got the 10 other that can go down. Obviously, there's always risk for injury, right? Jake Moody's made tackles here. You know, we do try to train them to be as safe as possible. But yeah, that is definitely a concern. But I think with his placement and what he can do as a kickoff guy, you know, just want to let him go play football at that point.
Over here in the front, Dennis.
Where's Dom's range? 65 or maybe comfortable?
Yeah, I mean, if the wind's behind his back, I'll let him go from 70 if he wants. But, you know, he's hit a 60-yarder this spring already. You know, definitely excited to see where it keeps going. He's put 10 pounds of muscle on. Our nutrition staff has done a great job. So I'm excited to see where his range is at this fall, especially after this summer cycle.
Is there a guy or two you identify it's called like an ace of special teams, whether it's on the kickoff?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think Joe Taylor, he's a special teams demon for us. He's done a great job. He's at 723 plays right now in his career on special teams here for us. You know, I think he needs 12.5 per game to break it right now with Glasgow. So he's been great. He's a leader for us. He's a captain for us in that regard of special teams. You know, Jalen Hoffman's done a great job. Zach Marshall's done a great job. You know, Cole Sullivan, obviously another guy that we talked about earlier. But there's a lot of guys that we feel very comfortable and confident in putting in the game on special teams right now.
Over here on the right, Zach.
Can you just talk about the energy that Dominic Zvada brings to the room? Just on
Yeah. No, he does. I mean, he brings a swagger, right? Like, you use that term. But he brings an aura and a swagger to the room that we're all pretty confident when we walk in there. So love him, love the energy he brings, and, you know, looking forward to keeping that going this year.
And can you talk about any of the newcomers that have kind of stood out so far within special teams, making some plays here?
Yeah, I mean, Chase Taylor, Andrew Marsh, all those guys, the young guys that have came in, Nate, Owusu, they've all came in. There's something that they can do for us and help us win a game. So excited to see all those guys and what they do this fall.
On the right here, Aaron.
You think Dominic's motivated by being held off the Luke Rosa list last year? You think that's killing him at all this
Yeah, I think that is part of the fuel to his fire. I think he just wants to be the best version of himself that he can be. We'll take any motivator that we could get with him, though. So excited to see him this year and kick. I mean, he had a really good year last year, being 21 of 22. But we're excited to see him continue to progress, and let's try to be perfect.
On the left, Ryan.
What does make Joe Taylor such a demon on special teams?
Yeah, so his ability to long stride to short stride, his ability to create contact, his ability to play against bigger matchups than what's presented to his size. He does it all and handles a lot of volume for us. He's a communicator. He does a lot of things. He really runs the room at that point. He's a coach on the field for us.
Back left, Alejandro.
Following your first year as special teams coordinator, what are some areas you've looked into yourself as growth as a coach heading into your team?
Yeah, definitely continue with the situational awareness, getting better and better at that each day. Trying to practice that more and more. Next, continue to manage the roster. Obviously, you're one of the few coaches on staff that has to deal with the entire team. So continuously getting to know more of our team and making sure that we're using every ounce of it.
On the left, Clayton.
The House settlement hearing last week, it
Yep.
seems like they may be able to grandfather in like some of those extra roster spots. That impacts you, like you were just talking about.
Yeah, no doubt it does. Obviously, the more players you have, the more people you have to put on teams. The great thing is here, I think there's a good culture because everybody in the spring is in the meeting room for special team meetings. So that's offensive lineman, defensive lineman, everybody's in the meeting room. So it's been great that there's a lot of guys involved in it and want to do it.
Does that excite you though, that like you may not have to cut some guys?
Yeah, I'd love to keep every one of them. Obviously, they're here, they're like family. So never want to get rid of anybody.
You guys have anything else for JB?
Which coach do you think lives the healthiest lifestyle?
Oh, I got to follow that up with Coach Moore. Yeah, I agree with BJ. Yeah, he's always in here working out. I mean, he's awesome.
In the back right, Angelique.
William Wagner gone. Now is it Greg Tarr?
Yep, Greg Tarr, and then we got Trent Middleton coming in as well. Greg's had an outstanding spring. Loved his consistency, loved what he brings to the room. Again, like Dom, he's a leader of that room as well. We love him. Can't wait to see him progress and go through this. And the beauty of it is that he's actually played a year already, especially when Wags was out with that ACL injury. Greg stepped in, and we didn't miss a beat, so need to continue with that.
Dennis.
You give Lydia guys on kickoff, including Morgan. I know he's done a lot on the punt return game. So a couple other guys you would look at there.
Yeah, we're trying to evaluate everybody that is a playmaker that could get their ball in their hands. We've worked all the wide receivers, all the running backs, everybody back there just to see who can run the return the best. Micah Capon has also been back there, so we're excited to see what they do.
What's been the focus with Hudson this spring?
Yeah, just consistency. Continue on his consistency because at times, like you guys seen in the Alabama game, he has the potential to hit that great A ball that we all love. Just continue to get that more and more out of him.
Back to Angelique.
How do you weigh the risk reward of using a guy like a Jordan Marshall or some other guys who are major contributors on offense?
No doubt. I think you just have to manage the roster. The best thing is I'm in constant communication with Coach Moore about, he's playing a lot of volume on offense, a lot of volume on defense, kind of minimize special teams. And it's kind of just a chess piece, right, of moving back and forth of who needs to play and who doesn't.
Clayton.
Who would be the backup punter and backup kicker right now?
Yeah, as of right now, it'd be probably Marlon Klein, right? And that's great for Fags too. We love that. So not bad to have a great tight end back there being able to punt. But he's done it in practice and in pregame quite often. So he's done it in high school as well. So obviously we're going to go look for another one to bring into the room just through this next cycle. But he's done a pretty good job this spring, so excited. Yeah, so Beckham Sunderland's coming in. Excited to see what he does. He has a very strong leg, extremely good ball contact. You saw it at Tech State right when he signed. Excited to see what he does. So.
Angelique.
Have you ever been around a kicker? I mean, it seems like Dominic has a lot of swagger. I mean,
Right.
Moody did, but he doesn't carry himself like Dominic. Have you ever been around a guy like?
I think they're all their unique individual selves. You know what I mean? But no, I could say Dom has a different swagger to him. But all of them have had the confidence in themselves, though. That's one thing I think that's apparent, that they all believe in what they do, from James Turner, Jake Moody to Dom, that they've all believed in themselves, and when they got out there, they were going to make the kick.
Jake thought he could throw, too.
Oh, yeah, every one of them think that they could throw. I can tell you that. But we try to work on that every day. So.
Can he throw?
Oh, yeah, he could throw.
Is that it?
Who's the best baseball player on the football team?
Jimmy's good. I mean, are we adding coaches in as well? I'm gonna take myself all day.